So on November 3rd, there's a little thing, you might have heard about it, potentially, called the US election, which is getting plenty of coverage at the moment, and fair enough, it's a pretty big event, the US election, obviously. Trump, Biden, Republican, Democrat, who is going to be the man to lead the Western world pretty much into the next 4 years. It's a big event, okay, the US election, everyone's talking about it and all that kind of stuff. So in this video, I'm going to talk about a few things, Trump versus Biden, the build up to it. I'm not going to say like really go into like who I'd want to win, because that just creates such division. And really what this is going to be is more commentary on how politics is treated in the mainstream and how politics is handled, because I'm someone who doesn't really, not objectify, but doesn't see someone who thinks one way and just blacklists them for it and views them in such a negative, like stigmatized light. Like, I don't care who you vote for. If you think Donald Trump is 4 more years of Trump would be the perfect solution to everything that's wrong with America and around the world, even at the moment, and you think 4 more years of Trump would be fantastic, awesome for you. That's hats off to you. But if you think Joe Biden and what he promises and what he offers is, the best thing for America and the best thing for the world, awesome for you. Like, I don't really care. I'm not American. I'm not voting myself. There's no issues. So it doesn't really matter as far as who you vote for, in my opinion. But really, what I want to talk about is how it gets treated. Because as someone who uses Twitter particularly, Twitter's a particularly bad platform as far as politics, especially as far as how it's handled. Because the thing about Twitter is that everyone gets a say, everyone expresses their opinion. You only have to use 240 characters is it now? I think it is. So yeah, it's very short, very straight to the point. Everyone has a say. It's like the open window in someone's kitchen. Anyone can use it. Anyone can say their opinion, all that kind of stuff. So as a result of that, you've seen in the past particular year, but really in the past 4 to 8 years primarily, you've seen a lot of this, cancel culture to an extent, but this whole mentality and this whole stigma of if you support or you endorse one candidate over the other, that makes you a list of traits which by and large most people who endorse one candidate are not. For example, if you want to vote for Donald Trump, you're racist, you're sexist, like all this kind of stuff. It's like, is that the case? Like, not every Trump supporter, contrary to what the mainstream media will tell you, not every Trump supporter is racist. Shock, horror, oh my god. This is a neutral Australian saying this. This is someone with no real input in the election. This is just an observatory perspective, okay? Not every Trump supporter is racist. And, at the same time, not every, Joe Biden supporter is a crazy nutcase SJW. Some people just want to vote for Biden. Some just want to vote for Trump. But it's just how it's really portrayed is... It's an issue because it creates such civil conflict. And it's something where, when you look at America, in my eyes, from like a neutral perspective, as perhaps the superpower of the Western world almost, you see a country which, if it was more unified, could be so much like more powerful, but there's such internal conflict as far as Republican versus Democrat, Trump supporters who believe make America great again, and people who are anti-Trump and call Trump every name, every derogatory term under the sun. There's such division, which I don't think's healthy, and I don't think the mainstream media do a particularly good job at really trying to stop that. If anything, they cultivate that. And as someone who's followed American politics from a neutral perspective, it's just, how I describe it, soap opera, circus, like all these kind of terms, it's the best reality TV on earth. That's American politics. For example, you look at the presidential debates, the Trump versus Biden one, Pence versus Harris, and then Trump Biden the second, the other one. Like, you look at those debates, and especially that first Trump versus Biden one, holy hell, dude, that thing was oh boy. yeah, as someone who's gathered and gauged the reaction from that one, and it's pretty clear when you watch it yourself, those two, it was just two old guys. It looked like they were arguing at a Buffalo Wild Wings on, on Sunday at a football game. That's what it looked like. It looked like two old dudes arguing about whose son's better. Like, that was the whole thing. Trump saying that Biden's son's a loser, and Joe Biden saying that Trump handled the virus terribly. Like, it's just this same thing over and over. The debates themselves, I don't think the debates really did a lot to sway anyone. Like, I mean, Mike Pence and Senator Harris was interesting, I guess, and the fly on Pence's head was the biggest talking point. Like, this is the whole thing with this election, that as much weight and as much, importance as this does have, like, it really does, and if you don't think whoever becomes president, is important, then, I mean, that's a big issue, considering how much weight this has for not just America, but, like, the whole Western world and the world as a whole. Like, if you look at the election, you don't think that way, then, like, this isn't just some regular popularity contest, okay? And that's almost the issue as far as voting for this US election, which I've seen and heard a lot about. People who don't really follow the policies, don't follow what each candidate could do to, better America, better, civilization as a whole. But it's more so, he's funny, I vote for him, or, I like that guy for X reason, vote for him. That's really about it. And the amount of people who really look below the surface of, okay, what's the X's and O's of what this candidate has to offer? What's the X's and O's of what Biden, what Trump has to offer? I don't feel like many people really look into that, which is a bit of a worry, but at the same time, it's only the election. It's only deciding the person who's going to run the world just about. I mean, yeah, not fully, but you get my point, okay? It's such a big thing, and for how it's handled, I don't really love that. And, I mean, the US election as a whole, it gets turned into a bit of a meme because of how it's handled as far as social media. How, once again, you have the far right, the far left, how they just go at it. You see Trump tweet anything, and you look at the responses to a Trump tweet, oh my god. If you don't either follow Trump's Twitter or at least look at Trump's tweets, like, I follow Trump's Twitter because it's a good laugh. It's hilarious seeing either what Trump tweets to try and stay in the know as far as what what he's at least thinking. I don't even know. Trump's Twitter account's a bit of a meme anyway, but you see that, and you see the replies, and you see all the terms that Trump gets called. It's just priceless, okay? And how much of it Trump deserves, I don't know. I'm not here to really debate that kind of stuff. That's getting into the nitty-gritties of politics. I'm not here to do that because that's just going to get hated. But just in general, the main crux of this video, US election coming up November 3rd. I don't care personally who you vote for. It does matter, of course, because it's the US election. This is the next, president of the United States for 4 years. And until we get the 2024 election, which could well be Kanye West versus The Rock for all we know, until we get that, we're going to have either Joe Biden or Donald Trump running the world again. And how that, leads off civilization, who knows? Because 2021 through 2024 is going to be the rebuild from COVID and really the building back of America. So is Joe Biden the person to do that? Like, in my personal opinion, even if Joe Biden does get elected, well, his term, his 4 years is going to be tarnished by the fact that he's, quote-unquote, mending all the stuff that Trump, quote-unquote, did wrong in these 4 years, if you know what I mean. So it's such a tricky one. Will 4 more years of Trump be better than 4 years of Biden? Who knows? We'll find out on November 3rd who wins. But then again, the electoral system's a bit messy anyway, because the electoral college and it's hard to get your head around. But anyway, that's been the video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. I just wanted to make a video about the election because half my audience is American, so I thought I might as well. It's fairly topical. The election, as of the making this video, is like a week away now, something like that. When I post this, could be like 3 to 5 days away. It's topical. Leave down below just anything about politics. This is just a bit of a general commentary video. I don't really know too much to expect from it, but yeah, like, comment, sub, you guys know the drill, all that kind of good stuff. Who do you think's going to win the election? I don't really want to know who you're going to vote for, because then they'll just get all spiteful. I'm sure some people are going to take it too seriously in the comments, and I think the half my audience can't even vote anyway, so whatever, leave down below something, like, comment, sub, all that kind of good stuff. See ya.